Today, Australia is the home of the saltwater crocodile, the largest living reptile. However, Mesozoic fossils of Australian crocodiles and their relatives, the Crocodylomorphs, are extremely rare. Currently, only one genus of Crocodylomorph, Isisfordia, is known from Australia during this time. While small, Isisfordia has opened up many questions regarding the evolution of crocodilians. Isisfordia was rather similar to modern crocodilians. Its physical appearance has been compared to that of alligators with its broad snout. However, it was still flatter, thinner, and longer than those of alligators. It was just over a meter long, about the same size as Cuvier's dwarf caiman. At such a small size, it's safe to say that it wasn't hunting adult dinosaurs like some of its larger relatives. Instead, it would have hunted much smaller prey, such as lizards, mammals, dinosaur hatchlings, fish, amphibians, and invertebrates. Isisfordia consists of 2 to 3 species, all of which have been found in Australia. The first one to be named, Isisfordia ducani, was found in the Winton Formation, which was formed between the end of the Early Cretaceous and the beginning of the Late Cretaceous. The Winton Formation was once a variety of different aquatic environments, including swamps, rivers, and estuaries. It was also home to the sauropod dinosaur Australotitan, the largest known dinosaur from Australia, and the deadly predator Australovenator. The holotype skeleton of Isisfordia ducani was almost complete, except for part of the skull, which has been damaged due to exposure to the elements before it was found. Another specimen, consisting of a larger, more complete skull, was found later, giving science a complete picture of its skeleton. Even more Isisfordia ducani have been found since then, some of which are even opalized. The other 2 species of Isisfordia, Isisfordia molnari and Isisfordia salassofensis, are only known from much more fragmentary remains. Indeed, due to the lack of overlapping material, they could turn out to be the same species. They are both from the Grimmen Creek Formation. Like the Winton Formation, the Grimmen Creek Formation was also formed during the early to late Cretaceous boundary in Queensland and was once a freshwater lagoon. When Isisfordia was first found, it was thought to be a basal member of Eosuchia, the group of crocodiliomorphs that includes crocodilians and their closest relatives. This classification was based on Isisfordia possessing both a ball-in-socket vertebral joint and a crocodile-style secondary palate, both hallmarks of Eosuchia. At the time Isisfordia was discovered, only one other Eosuchian as old was known, which brought up the possibility that Eosuchia first evolved in southern, formerly Gondwandan continents, rather than in the northern Laurasian ones, as has usually been thought. However, a paper in 2015 found that the secondary palate in Isisfordia was more like those of more primitive crocodilian relatives outside of Eosuchia. Likewise, many of those comparatively more primitive relatives also had already evolved crocodilian-like vertebrae joints. It is now agreed that Isisfordia was not an Eosuchian, but still part of Neosuchia, the larger clade of semi-aquatic crocodiliomorphs Eosuchia is a part of. The closest relative of Isisfordia is now thought to be Susisuchus. Like Isisfordia, Susisuchus was small and lived in a formerly Gondwandan continent, South America in its case. Still, Isisfordia is the only known Mesozoic crocodiliomorph in all of Australia. All other Australian crocodiliomorph fossils are too fragmentary to understand much about them. This is at least partly due to Australia being relatively geologically stable. While this means rocks from older time periods are more common in Australia than elsewhere, there were also fewer new sedimentary rocks formed by erosion during the Mesozoic era, resulting in fewer fossils from this time. Therefore, the lack of Australian crocodiliomorph fossils from this time may just be due to the low number of Mesozoic fossils from the continent in general. However, there may be another reason for the rarity of crocodiliomorphs in Mesozoic Australia, one that adds to Isisfordia's significance in crocodiliomorph evolution. During much of the Mesozoic era, Australia was much further south than it is today, with parts of it even laying within the Antarctic Circle. While global temperatures were warmer during the Mesozoic era than today, Australia's southward position still resulted in temperatures in Australia being much cooler than what is usually tolerable for crocodilians. While early crocodiliomorphs had higher metabolisms than today's crocodiles, the metabolisms of the amphibious Neosuchians were already as low as their modern descendants. Instead, a branch of amphibians called brachiopods, such as the bizarre Coolosuchus, filled the niche of semi-aquatic predator. Belonging to a larger group of amphibians called temnospondyls, their ancestors were semi-aquatic predators during the Triassic period, long before Neosuchians evolved. After the Triassic period, brachiopods are only known from Australia. This is thought to be because they were better able to withstand the cold there, while Neosuchian crocodiliomorphs took to the water elsewhere. The appearance of Isisfordia 100 million years ago coincides with indicators that the region had become warmer. Unsurprisingly, no brachiopoid amphibians have been found from the same environments as any species of Isisfordia or in any time afterward, suggesting that they may have gone extinct. Neosuchians like Isisfordia may have simply taken advantage of the ecological void left in the wake of the extinction of their brachiopoid predecessors, or their arrival may have been what drove them to extinction. Regardless, while Isisfordia may not rewrite Eosuchian evolution, it does provide important information on the biodiversity of Australia and the likely extinction of the brachiopoid temnospondyls. Either way, as the sole-named Mesozoic Crocodiliomorph from Australia, Isisfordia offers a glimpse into an otherwise poorly understood part of Crocodiliomorph biodiversity.
Thank you for watching. Also, a thank you to Flipped StuG for narrating this video. This is a remake of an older video I did. While that video is now unlisted, the link to it is in the description if you wish to compare the two. Have a great day, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit the like button.